Hey there, my name's Larissa, and we're going to be working with Lauren today to address her upper back. She does have some scoliosis going on, so we're going to just, figure out what exactly it is and how exactly to work on it. Let's get started. If you don't have time to watch this right now, just save it to your watch later playlist and check it out whenever you like. Okay, so we're gonna start by just checking out visually and tactilely what she's got going on through her back. So, so this is just how it's presenting itself while she's laying face down on the table. So that doesn't it's not really like a diagnostic tool. You know, there's so many components to scoliosis, but this is what we can address right now in this moment. So here's her spine. Let's see what's going on there. So I've just got my fingers on it, and I'm just kind of tracing it as it goes down towards the hips. What I'm feeling so far is that right where her thoracic spine starts, the spinous processus is lifted up towards the ceiling. That's what we would call like a dowager's hump, super minor on her, but you can feel that. So I'm gonna put my fingers right on her spine, and I'm just gonna trace it as it moves down. Just seeing where it moves. So what I feel up at the top, right where her thoracic spine starts, is that the very first spinous processus is kind of lifted up to the ceiling. So that would be the beginnings of like what we would call a dowager's hump. Super imperceptible on her, but just something to note. So then as we continue down the spine, we can feel that the spine is moving off to her right some. So right here through the rib cage, it's curving to the right. And then as we come kind of to the end of the thoracic spine, it seems to come back to center. And then we're coming into the lumbar spine, and it starts to curve off to the left. The left. And then potentially, hard to say, but as I'm getting right to the sacrum, it's either right back in line with the sacrum again, or it's just a little off to the left. But so that's our S shape. So that's what the spine is telling us, and then we're going to look at some other landmarks too. So here are her shoulders on the table. This is just how she has laid down naturally. And you can tell that her shoulders are a little bit internally rotated. You can see it when you look from the head of the table to her traps. Her scapula are all kind of pointing down and rolled in. So of course that means when you work on her on the other side, you're going to want to open up the chest. So it looks like her shoulders are relatively level, but I do notice that her right shoulder is a little bit raised towards me. So that's one landmark. The other landmark is going to be what her ribs are doing. So this one you can definitely tell the right side rib cage is bigger. Definitely bigger. The left side is definitely more depressed, more small. And typically, if you're going to have a little bit of a raise in the shoulder, the ribs are going to be a little bit lifted too. And it seems like, in terms of how the rib cage is rotated, that the right side rib cage is rotating more up towards the ceiling, away from the table, whereas the left is rotating more down. So we did the shoulders, we did the ribs, and then we'll look at the hips. And when I look at the hips from here, they look very level. That doesn't mean there isn't an imbalance going on there, but visually, I'm not seeing one from this position. Okay, so from here, one of the best things that you can do for these clients is work along the spine, because that's where the most tension is going to be. So I'm going to use my thumbs. I'm going to use my safety thumb. It's bent right at the very first knuckle, trying to make the rest of the thumb relatively straight. I'm going to use my safety thumb, the very tip of the thumb, to work into the lamina groove of the spine. And so I feel with the pad of my thumb, I feel the spinous processes. And that's how you want it to be the entire time as you're working down the spine. You want to be making contact with that spinous processes so that you know you're in the lamina groove. You're not straying off on any kind of interesting journey elsewhere through the back. You really want to stay focused right up close to the spine. So we're working through the multifidi and the rotatores, itty bitty teeny tiny muscles in between the spinous processes and the transverse processes of the spine. So another thing that you can do to help yourself as you go is you can use your accessory hand to drag skin away so that you can better get into the lamina groove. And I've got a thumb that's wearing out, so I'm going to switch to my other thumb. If you see your thumb hyperextending like mine just did, switch to your other thumb. There, okay, I feel right here, wow, there is a lot of tension right there, so I'm just spending a little bit of extra time there. And then just a little bit farther, it does feel like through this left low back, left lumbar spine area, it is very tight. It is very tight. Tight and short, so it's going to appreciate getting lengthened. I'm taking it all the way to the sacral base. And then we'll do the other side as well. So with Lauren, it makes the most sense. Look, I'm using two thumbs now. For Lauren, it makes the most sense to use my thumbs. If you're working on a larger client, you may want to use your knuckles or even your elbow. So of course with those kind of tools, you want to be more careful when you're working in the lamina groove. You just want to really pay attention to what you're doing. You don't want to get off track, and you want to make sure your client is relaxed. Right here on this right side, mid-thoracic, is where I'm feeling a lot of tension through her lamina groove. And so that is where the spine is really like curving off to the right side. So it's almost like I'm pushing down into the lamina groove and just thinking of putting that spinous processes back to the center. And it's not that you're necessarily gonna make anything perfect today, but that you're working the muscle tissue in the direction that it needs to go. Yeah, still continuing to feel pretty tight. This juncture where the thoracic spine turns into the lumbar spine, right around T12, is usually, sometimes it'll be like a jumpy area for people. People like do a little spasm when you get there. Or it'll just be like, ow, what are you doing, lady? So just be careful when you're there. It needs work. You may have to go more gently there. Okay, we made it to the lumbar spine. It does feel tight on this side too, but not as tight as the left was. The lumbar spine is probably having to do a lot for stabilizing the upper spine. And Lauren, our lovely Lauren, has a lot of this redness coming up from this work. I know you guys can see it in the shot. It's pretty cool. I mean, it should go away within 30 minutes, but you can definitely see that. Okay. So for her, I know that she has like some upper trap tension. So we're gonna spend a little time there for her. I really like to take the arms off the table to work the upper traps, because it's a little easier to get the chest to relax. So I am thoughtfully pulling the shoulder away from the center just to spread the chest open a little bit more. Oop. And she definitely has enough tension there to warrant using an elbow. So I'm coming up from below, dragging the skin up to the ceiling with the side of my forearm. And I'm gonna be landing my elbow right between the scapula and the spine. Let me do this again. Do both sides. So we're dragging the skin up. Getting the elbow right on that levator scapula and just compressing. Lauren, I'll have you take a deep breath in. Good, and exhale. Let's do that again. Breathe all the way in. Nice. And then exhale, out. And one more time, all the way in, big and expansive through your ribs. And then all the way out. Wonderful. So her breath allows the muscles to relax a little bit more, and it allows me to actually move through the muscle tissue. So I'm slowly going past the levator scapula and getting more into the rhomboids. And you can feel on her a lot more tension in her right rhomboid than in her left. That doesn't mean there isn't tension in the left, but at least from where I'm at, it's mainly through the right. We're not going to go all the way down the back, but maybe about midway through. Awesome. And then I will go all the way down just using my fists. So dragging the skin up again. Very last thing. So I'm going to take my fists and again dragging up the skin and going all the way down the back just to seal in all that good work that we just did. If your client has scoliosis, you've really done them a great service by working in so close to the spine. And even with Lauren, I definitely can visually see improvement as I do this. Starting to look a lot more in alignment. All right. And there we are. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.